Hey, good morning. Okay, so yeah, so in the last session we discussed the different types of errors in Python, right? Compilation errors, runtime errors we discussed, and we understood when we will actually get the compilation errors and then how to check that. Also, we discussed how to check, runtime errors and then how to handle runtime errors also we understood. So runtime errors we can handle using with exception handling concepts, right? So this concept we discussed for to understand indentation. So I told that as per PEP guidelines, indentation generally the best practice use 4 spaces, that is 1 tab space here. So this is what we discussed. And if I run this code, let me go to this workspace location. So now we can see. So first it executed hello and then enter a number. For example, 10, and then you can see the output 10 equal to 10 true. And if it is true, this piece of code it executes. That is actually what? Simply we can say if block. So if block is executing, the value 10 it executed. This is my first flow control example. It executed and then hi. That is a continuation of the program again. So this is about simple if. So if you are aware of this, how to use the indentation. So see, the indentation is more important here while writing the conditional statements or loops. So if you're not providing any indentation, so this is actually again compilation error, indentation error, right? So I hope this is clear. If yes, just type C here in the chat box. If you are clear about indentation part, just type C here in the chat box. Okay. So we will discuss more about if else, later if, and next if. So if else, so the difference between simple if and if else. So here we write else part as well, right? Let's say if condition false, then I want to execute something else part. So this is how here, if condition true, then execute this block here. Else go to this. So means what? We are saying that, okay, first, if the condition is true, then simply run this block. Means whatever the statements we define inside the condition, if condition, this is if block now. So if condition is true, then this block will execute here. And from here directly it will go continuation of the program. So if condition true, simply the statements it executes only under if condition. So this is for true. So I'm just writing like T means true. But if condition false, okay, if condition false, then it will go to the else part. So try to understand else means no condition. We are saying that, okay, if this condition is false, just go and execute this block. Just go and execute this block. And then from there, it will go continuation of the program. So this is a if else. So where exactly we use this? For example, let's say I want to validate something like the given number is even number or odd number. So we write condition only for one. So let's say I want to write a condition just for whether the given number is even or not. So if you write a condition here for even number, if it is true, then the statements it executes. If it is false, simply else part will execute. So either the number is even or odd. So simply, if this condition is false, simply we can say execute as else. Getting my point. So now see, we'll write some examples here. I'll also share some tasks. You can try that later. So for example, I'm just writing like this. I'm saving the file .py and then save as type here, all types and then save. So next session we'll start some IDE. Okay. So we'll use some IDE and then we'll work with IDE. So like we try to use PyCharm initially. And then after a few days, we will go for some different IDEs as well. Okay. So what I want to do here, I want to take some input. So let me copy this here. So this is a value now. I'm just writing this variable as a num. Okay. So enter a num and then see condition I'm writing. If num value, anyone tell me here how we can actually write condition for the even number? So how we know the number is a even number? You can ping me here in the chat. How we know the number is a even number? No idea. Yeah. So if the number division by 2, which means actually we should use the operator model operator. So we already discussed that operators. See, there are two operators. One is a division operator and the other one is a mode operator, right? So the division operator, it will give you the quotient value, but mode operator, it will give you remainder value. For example, if I write here 4 division 2, what is the result now? That is a quotient value 2. But if I write 4 mod 2, it is giving a remainder value. The remainder value is 0. So actually the number is division of 2 here, but what result here? 0. That is with the mode operator. So we are saying that if any number, let's say here instead of 4, I'm going to use this num here. This particular number, if I use mode operator and then 2, and then if it is giving the remainder value 0, then we can say this number is even number. So that's the reason we are not using division operator here. We are using mode operator, and then the result, if it is 0, then that is a even number. if it is not 0, then simply we can say that is an odd number, right? So we are using mode operator here. Okay, so now if you see, if num mode 2, if it is equal to 0, one tab space, then print. I'm using f string. We know what is f string. I'm just writing the num. What is the num value? Here I'm writing is even number. So this is how I'm writing here. And then else is odd number. If you want to write continuation of the program, you can write continuation of the program also, print something I'm writing here, but okay. Now you can see how simple it is here. If this number is true, then means if this condition is true, then execute this block. Else, execute it. And then continuation of the program will execute, right? You can see now. So let me run this script here. Python day8 underscore script.py. So enter a number. For example, let's say I'm giving 10. So 10 mod 2. True. It is even number. So I'm writing 6. 6 mod 2. True. It is even number. And then I'm just writing 3. So 3 mod 2 is equal to 0 false. And then else part it executed. That is the number 3 is odd number. Right? So this is how it works. I hope this is clear now how we are using this if else. See, we know multi-line comments. I'm just writing multi-line comments here. So all the lines commented now. So I'll also see one more example. Let's assume, okay, so I want to write like this, accept a number and check the given number is 2-digit number or not. So 2-digit number, how to check? So how to check the number is a 2-digit number? How to check the number is 2-digit number or not? So 2-digit number, I just think generally it starts from 10, right? So 10 to 99. So how to write that 10 to 99 in the condition? Just think. Just type here in the chart. Anyone? Bhavya, yeah. So the number should be greater than or equal to 10. Okay. If you write greater than 10, then 10 it will not accept. Right. So 10 also 2-digit number. So something you can write either greater than 9 or greater than or equal to 10 and less than or equal to 99. So that you need to write in a condition. So why we are actually discussing this part, see, you will understand even logical operators how to use. So here this is a relational operator, equal to symbol. Now we are understanding the logical operators also how to use. So logical operators, we discussed that if true and true, then only true. So and operator, how to use. Or operator, how to use. Not operator, how to use, we discussed. To understand that operators, I am just giving this example here. So if the number is greater than 9 or greater than or equal to 10. And see, this is an and operator, logical operator, right? The same one number less than or equal to 99. Yes or no? So the number should be greater than or equal to 10. And the same number should be less than or equal to 99. Both conditions should be true. Then only the condition is true here, and then the statement will execute because of and operator. Getting my point? So and operator I am using. And then print, I'm just writing here the number. What is the number here? NUM is two-digit number. Two-digit number. Else, I'm writing print the number NUM, okay, is not a two-digit. See this, how exactly the condition we are writing. So as I told that, okay, it is okay, best practice if you write open and closed parentheses. But in Python, it's not mandatory, but it is best practice. Like, see, if you write a multiple conditions like this, you can also write one more bracket here for this, one more bracket here, and then the closing bracket. But generally, the brackets not mandatory, but then it's a best practice. Okay, if you see here, okay, this is something like one condition, and this is another condition, and we are taking this condition result and another condition result. So it is more clear now if you mention these brackets. But it's not mandatory, right? Okay, now I'm just writing something 45. So 45 is greater than or equal to 10, true. And also the 45 is less than or equal to 99, true. So it is saying it's a two-digit number. I'm just writing 99. So 99 also what? Greater than 10, less than or equal to 99, it is true. But when I write 9 here, you can see 9 is not a two-digit because here the first condition false. Second condition is true, but both conditions should be true, right? For example, let's say I'm just writing 3, 4, 5. Greater than or equal to 10 true, but less than or equal to 99 false. So it's not two-digit. So I hope it is clear how we are writing if else, right? So I'll share some assignments. You can try that, multiple assignments. Then you will get complete idea how to write this, okay? But syntax, how to write, we understood here. And then coming to the ladder if, okay? So ladder if is actually multiple conditions, we can say. So when we actually use this, like whenever if you want to concentrate more than two conditions. For example, let's say I have some results marks. Or maybe I want to find out some percentage based on the total marks. Or I have something average marks, and then based on average marks, I want to find out whether the student achieved first division or second division or something, third division or fail like that. So here if you see, we are writing multiple conditions. Let's say, for example, if greater than or equal to 80, I want to say something distinction. Or maybe greater than or equal to 60 to 80 between first division. 50 to 60, I want to say something second division. 35 to 50, third division. Below 35, fail. So here we have multiple conditions. So why multiple conditions? Our result is different. Based on this particular, condition matches, then I am saying something first division and second division, third division like that. So there are multiple conditions based on the average marks should print that. You can try the same example, but I'll try for different one. For example, let's say if I accept a number, okay? If I accept a number, the number is, for example, I want to check whether it is a positive number or negative number. So you may think that, okay, positive number or negative number, you can write with the if-else itself. But there is a problem. So like if we do have 0. See, for example, how we write positive number or negative number. If it is greater than 0, that is a positive number. If it is less than 0, that is a negative number. Like all -1, -2, -3 negative numbers. All 1, 2, 3, 4, all positive numbers. But how about 0 now? So I want to write even for the 0. So 0 is not a positive, not a negative. So I want to write condition for 0 as well. If it is 0, then I want to display that it's not a positive or negative. Simply, I want to print it as 0. So 3 conditions required. One condition for greater than 0, second condition less than 0, third condition equal to 0. So whenever if you write more than 2 conditions, we go for later if. So as I told, like finding the using with average marks, if you check something like the result based on that average marks line, if you are deciding that division. Or maybe you are taking some age, input as age, and if age is something 1 to 11, so I want to say that as a child, or 1 to 12, right? So 13 to 19, teenager. So something like 20 to 50, like a young, something I want to print, or greater than 50, senior citizen, something like that I want to write. So here we are actually writing based on the age, and we are taking some different conditions. So here we have more than 2 conditions, and again later if. Getting my point? So how to write this syntax? If, then condition 1. So if this condition 1 is true, and then execute these statements. Now we write elif. So in programming languages, we write else if, but in Python, this is a elif. Elif condition 2. So this is like a if only. Okay, so elif means condition is mandatory. You should write a condition. And again, elif condition 3. You can write n number of conditions like this based on your requirement. And I'm writing like this now, maybe n number of conditions. And then finally else part here. And then else here, I'm writing a statements again, then continuation of the program. So the difference between elif and else. Elif means condition is mandatory. Elif means what? Condition is mandatory. It's like a if only. Else means no condition. Else means no condition. So we never write condition for else part. Remember this. If you're a beginner for any programming, This is a beginner mistake. So the beginner's mistake, else, then they write some condition here, right? So this is more important if you are a non-programmer. Else means no condition. Else means what? No condition. Which means what? If all these conditions fail, I want to just execute this. If all these conditions fail, just execute this. That's it. So condition one, if condition one is true, then the statements it executes here under condition one, the statements whatever we define. And from here directly it will go continuation of the program. So why every time I'm saying continuation of the program? So let's say you are writing some Python code. Don't think that only one condition we write in entire program, right? There may be some continuation of the program as well. Getting my point? So that's the reason continuation of the program also we should know here itself when we write some logic, and then okay, if this condition is true, the block of the statements under condition one it is executing, and from there where it will go, the execution it will go to continuation of the program. For example, if condition one false, then it will go to the condition two. If condition one false, it will go condition two, and then it is checking condition two is true or false. If it is true, from here directly it will go continuation of the program. Okay. If condition two is true, from here it will go where? Continuation of the program. If condition two also false, then it will check the condition three. Now if condition three is true, then the statements it executes here, and from here it will go continuation of the program. Assume if condition 3 also false, then condition 4 it checks, condition 5 like that. If all conditions fail, else part will execute, and from there it will go continuation of the program. So what we understood, if condition 1 false, then only it is coming to the second condition. Second condition false, then only it is coming to the third condition. Third condition false, then only it is coming to the fourth condition. If fourth condition true, the statements it executes under fourth condition, from there it will go continuation of the program. Only one condition it executes here. Even if you write n number of conditions, only one condition will be true, and then only that particular block will execute. It is not executing multiple. So that's what I am saying, like, if you check based on the average marks, then some division, it's not like, one student will not get first division, third division, both, right? No, not possible. Only one division. It can be a distinction, or it can be a first division, it can be a second, whatever it is, only one. That is ladder if. So let's say if marks, actually the average marks 70, and then if our condition is like this, if something marks greater than 80 and marks less than 100 or less than or equal to 100. So I'm saying this is a something distinction. So we'll write like similar way, elif. If marks here greater than, let's say 60, and then this one now. So since we have already another condition, you don't need to write again and. So if it is marks greater than 60, then I want to say this is the first division. So now the average marks, let's say 70%, then here this particular block will execute. I'll show you one example now based on this. I hope syntax is clear. If yes, just type C here. If syntax clear, just type C. Okay, so now let me write here. See, I'm taking input, and if num value greater than 0, I'm saying this is the num is num is positive number. Elif num value less than 0, and then I'm just writing here negative number. And again, I'm writing elif num value if it is equal to 0, and then I'm just writing here num is 0. So I'm actually not using else part. Else part is optional. Else part is optional. If you want, you can write, but I'm just mentioning all conditions like this. Let me run this now. So let me first write 10 positive number, minus 10 negative number, 0, it is actually 0. So three conditions I have. If first condition true, execute it and then go to the continuation of the program by it is executed. Getting my point? If first condition false, then checking the second condition. In the second condition, if it is less than 0, if it is true, then this block is executing and then continuation of the program. If it is false, then the last condition. So here if you observe, only three conditions possible. Either greater than 0, less than 0, equal to 0. So if you know, here the possibility is only three conditions. You don't need to write this last condition. You can simply put else part. Which means what? If you write a condition, for the validation, it is taking some time. So we already validated greater than, less than. If it is validated greater than, less than, there is the only possibility equal to. You don't need to write condition for this. If you write a condition, it is again validating whether it is true or false. Since we decided these two conditions false, then only one left, that is 0. So you can write else part. So means what? If you are really clear about that, okay, only possibility three conditions, two already we validated, and then last condition I don't want to write, you can just keep else part and then you mention that statement. So here we are not validating that in the else part. It's simply based on the previous two conditions. If it is failed, just execute else part. That's it. So let's say you are validating the average marks like percentage thing. If you are already done first division, second division, third division, everything, then less than 35 means simple. You don't need to write condition. If you already done this all, then the last one is what just failed. You can write like that, else part. So now here you can see, when I write 0, then it is printing that, right? 0. This is how it is. Okay, so this is the ladder if. And the ladder if we use actually for even menu programming here. So this is more and more important because we don't have a switch case in Python separately. Switch case is, we are using generally switch case to write a menu driven programs. So what is this menu programming? For example, let's say you are working as a DevOps engineer or something. Maybe, okay, I'll take this. Like Linux, you are working as a Linux administrator. And then you want to assume that you want to create some user. So of course, if you know command user add, and then you can create a command like a username. But the problem here is I want to create the same user maybe across all 100 servers. So you need to connect manually each and every server and then should execute the same command in every server. So it takes time connecting to the server, executing the command, and again exit from there, again connecting another server, executing the command. These are the things. So instead of actually connecting like that, connecting and executing the command manually, you can do some automation for that. So maybe you can take all servers list, assume we have 100 servers in one file, 100 servers in one file. Something I'm creating like server list here. Copy all the 100 servers, and then if you have passwordless authentication, if you set up that, maybe if we have a time, we will see at the end of the training those things. So if you set up passwordless authentication, and then one single click, it will connect each and every server, right? So each and every server without any password. But connecting fine, but I want to run some command. So you can actually write some menu style here. For example, the menu is like this, like assume this is a something distribution menu, dist menu. So what is the dist menu having options? The option is something like this. One for add user, two delete user, something add group, delete group like that. So if I select option one, okay, so select your choice. So if I select option one, then should ask enter a username to add. And then when you provide a username, then immediately should ask enter servers list. Then you should provide something, the file name /tmp server list. And then when you provide the server list, it should automatically connect all the servers one by one. And then since we provided already the username in the add user, the command will execute that again. Getting my point? So this is how you can actually write menu programming. So for our understanding, if you want to go for some small kind of thing, simply we can say, let's say, for example, food menu. So in the food menu, we have a different options like veg menu, something non-veg menu, something Jain menu. I want to write like that. So what we do, say this. So this is a something food menu. So let's say food menu. I'm writing here food menu. So when I execute this food menu, it is just printing here, but I want to print at middle of the page. Somewhere at middle of the page, I want to print. Okay, you can provide new lines. /n is a new line, right? \n is a new line. Now you can see it is giving actually new lines, but not giving at the middle. So I'm going to write again tab space here. \t is a tab. Okay, so the \t I provided now, again I'm executing, you can see somewhere at the middle it is printing. But again here, I want to clear the screen before executing this. I don't want to clear manually every time CLS. Okay, in Python, we don't have direct option to clear the screen. Let's say if I am in interactive mode, we don't have like CLR, SCR, something like this to clear the screen, or CLS directly, no. CLR, no. Then how? So we should decide first which operating system we are in. I'm in Windows operating system. In Windows operating system, to clear the screen, CLS. In Linux operating system, to clear the screen, CLEAR. So this is a command for Linux. This is a command for Windows, right? So you should aware of it, how to execute a operating system command using with Python. So as I told just now, user add is a command to create a user in Linux. That is a command, operating system command. You should execute that. For example, here, ipconfig is a command. I want to run this command using with Python, not directly manual execution. So to execute any operating system command, we have a built-in module called OS module in Python. So we use like this, import OS. Means we are importing that OS library, the module. And in this module, OS is a operating system, right? So import OS. You can see dir of OS. We discussed this dir help options in the last sessions. If you check dir of OS, it will give you all the list of properties about this OS module. There is a one property called system. So which means I want to run system command. What command you want to run? Let's say os.system. Okay, os.system of. I want to run CLS is a command, operating system command, enter. See, it is clearing the screen. os.ipconfig. os.system of ipconfig. See, ipconfig command is executing. So means what? Whatever command if you want to run. So here we use os.system of. Let's say ipconfig is a command. I'm executing ipconfig. Okay. And then run the script file. So I'm just trying to run the script file. ipconfig is not recognized as internal. ipconfig, it's a typo. It's not executing. Config. See, if it is not operating system, it will not understand. Now see this, it is executed. Let's say I don't want all this ipconfig output. I want to only wherever find only IP name. So means what? I'm grepping that. So wherever it matches IP name, something IP, where it is, this is the one, right? IP. Only that particular lines I want to print. So again, I'm executing the code. See, I'm executing this. And then see now, we're not getting the complete output wherever IP matches only those lines it is printing now. So if you are really good about this OS module and the operating system automation is very simple. If you know the commands, if you know this module using with Python. So there are, of course, we do have some other modules like subprocess module also we have for Linux automation. If anyone working in Linux using with Python, you can simply automate any task using with the two modules OS and subprocess if you are really aware of command. If you know commands, how to write the commands, how to execute the commands, those commands you can use in the Python script. Using with this OS model, subprocess model, we can automate that. So that is simple. Okay. So that's the reason I told, okay, if you know the modules, then off of our regular jobs, we can automate. But modules part we'll discuss later, right? So we are in still basics. Okay, this is how we are using OS model. I hope it is clear, right? Just type C in the chat box if you are clear about this OS model, how it actually executes. But our concept is here, only just to clear the screen we are using, right? Import OS dot system of, and then just use CLS. Okay. And then what I'm trying to do, I want to just first clear the screen and then use this food menu. And in the next line, exactly after this many tab spaces, I want to just provide something stars. I mean, it's like a underline. Let's see this output. See, first it cleared the screen, then it is printing food menu. And in the next line, something I am writing like this, veg. Okay, veg menu. And you can add a number of options. I am writing only veg and non-veg menu. You can write a Jain menu, something like this. Okay, non-veg menu. So veg and non-veg menu. So then choice equal to int of input of enter your choice. So write a condition now. If choice, if it is equal to one, what? You search for the veg menu items and then you can add here veg menu items. I'm just writing only like item one, something item two. You can add, okay, that is how you need to write, right? You can add all the veg menu items. Elif, if choice equal to two, and then I'm going to write here something non-veg menu items. This is how I write. But only two choices I need. And then if in case if any other thing, I want to mention that something wrong choice. Try again. You can write like this, okay? So now if you observe, when we run this code, it is giving a veg menu, non-veg menu. If you want more space also, maybe more new lines also, you can add it like this. So that is completely based on how you write, okay? Again, I'm just trying to run one more time. Now you can see there is a gap here, okay? So enter your choice. Choice one is veg menu items. Choice two is what? Non-veg menu items. Any other choice, if you write wrong choice, try again. So this is how we just created very small script, but you can see how, the script is actually providing for us like, menu related. I hope this is clear now, right? Any questions on this? Just type C in the chat box if it is clear. Okay. So, yeah, so the recordings you will receive it, but I told already you save your, like, save my number and then text me. I received some actually like DMs directly. So if you're still not saved my number, please try to save my number and then text me in the WhatsApp and then you will get the recording sure today. Okay. So I'll try to share. I'm actually working on that AI tools recordings and then I'll share this Python as well. Okay. That's all then for today and we'll connect tomorrow. And try to practice from now because we will slowly jumping into the actual concepts. So focus more so that you will get idea. If you are maybe planning for future AI related, not AI tools, like if you are planning for something generative AI or AI related roadmap, Python is the foundation, right? So if you are good in Python, it will be very easy to understand those concepts. Okay, so that's all then. Thank you all. Have a great day.